Massive thank you to Jaden, Connor, Dark Raider, Zeno and Ryan for subscribing to the channel. If you want to be featured in these clips, make sure you subscribe down below. Hello everyone and welcome back guys to a brand new video where today we're here back with round 9 of season 2 of the F1 22 My Team Career Mode. Yesterday we returned to Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, yes, the Canadian Grand Prix back once more on the calendar. Of course, if you missed out on the video that went live yesterday from Azerbaijan, I would highly recommend going back and checking out. You know, Baku often delivers some brilliant racing. Yesterday it was more frustration. I won't lie to you guys, but yeah, certainly still well worth going back and giving it a watch nonetheless, of course, before we head into Canada this weekend. As well, of course, a massive thank you to all of you guys for the insane and continued support on the channel. 76k, that's been ticked off. We're getting closer and closer towards 80,000 subscribers here on YouTube as well. Of course, the big goal of 100k by the end of the year as well. So definitely, you know, if you're enjoying the content, please do make sure you click that subscribe button and help us get one step closer to our big goal for 2022. But having a look then at the championship, you can see at the moment we are still struggling performance-wise against some of the other teams there. We have still got more upgrades in the works, and we've got 1,000 R&D points at the moment. All the upgrades we need currently are like 1,500 R&D, so we are slowly but surely picking them off, but it's just a case of trying to get them done as best as possible there. Ferrari apparently still have the best car on paper ahead of Mercedes, Red Bull and McLaren. I mean, behind them, it's just everyone is still fighting for positions. Championship-wise, though, Mercedes, of course, still absolutely dominating the way there, but after a rough weekend last time round in Baku, you know, maybe things are starting just to slip slightly for the Brackley-based organisation there. Hamilton, Russell, Bottas, Lando, Norris rounding out the top 4 in the championship there. You can see most teams are pretty well established at this time of this career mode. But, yeah, Canada can often deliver something a little bit different. Maybe if we get a safety car today, that can throw a spanner in the works as well. But, yeah, let's get into it then here for the Canadian Grand Prix. Right, well, here we are then, back at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Yeah, I always love coming back to the Montreal city on F1 22. You know, this has always been solidly one of my top favourite tracks on the F1 calendar. I don't know what it is. You know, very much similar to Monza, as it's basically all just straight lines or chicanes, but you know, such a track with so much history as well. I absolutely do love coming back here. Oh, we just skimmed the wall. And yeah, I mean, it was even nice in real life 2022 to finally come back to Canada as well. You know, this track certainly is a mainstay on the F1 calendar, and hopefully will be for many years to come as well, as so far this track climatization lap has actually been better than I expected it to go. Of course, we're still getting issues with AI top-end speed, so we don't really know now what tracks we're strong at on F1 22, but, you know, we're just kind of just vibing with it and seeing what happens at the moment. You know, coders are working on some patches, things like that, as we head out the final turn, though that should be a purple score. Only just, though, I think. Yeah, there we go. 15 points in it, but a purple score to start the weekend. Well, tyre wear simulation run then coming to a close, as long as we don't mess up the final chicane. I think this one is only going to be the green score. So we try and get as close on the exit of the Wall of Champions as we can, but pace seems promising. But yeah, only the green score there. A lot of the tyre wear runs I've done on F1 22, the purple score is near impossible around a lot of circuits. Well, jumping into our race simulation run, it looks like we're accidentally going to be race simulating a battle with our teammate Oscar Piastri here, as hopefully we'll be able to get a good idea of what sort of top-end speed our teammates got. I guess, you know, it's probably not a great combination, F1 22, the AI being ridiculous down the straights and also us having a Renault power unit. So certainly, yeah, has meant we're suffering a lot more than maybe, you know, Mercedes, Ferrari or Honda power unit runners there as well. We just give, you know, Oscar a little bit of a kiss down through the hairpin. Luckily, you know, he hasn't confirmed any shenanigans in his contract with us, as we're going to try and get down around the outside of him. He's squeezing me. We should just about have enough there to get around the outside into the braking zone. But yeah, Oscar Piastri is definitely here to stay, at least until the summer stretch. Well, despite having a nice battle with our teammate Oscar on our first run, the race sim going pretty nicely as well here in Canada. So we are going to pass that with flying colours. Let's get into qualifying then. So far, so good. Formula 1 is finally back in 2022, and now you can rep your favourite teams. Of course, using the F1 store, every team now has merch lineups available, whether you're an Aston Martin fan, a Williams fan, Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull, the choice is completely up to you. But yeah, check out the F1 merch store down below for all the official releases from all of the teams. And of course, as always, if you use our links as well, you massively help support the channel. So yeah, give it a look and see if there's anything you like. Well, if any of you have been keeping up with the Haas Road to Glory, you'll know qualifying round here in that series went absolutely catastrophic, even I should say. We couldn't really get a proper lap hooked up, so fingers crossed today, things will be a little bit different as we head down in towards turn 1. You know, sad as here in Circuit Gio Villeneuve, we're all about trying to get the car hooked up. Very, very difficult to try and put the power down with the low traction, especially around a lot of the corners, but we'll wait and see what we can do. Oh, really rattling up against the wall there. You've got to make this track as wide as possible. I know I say it about every circuit, but you know, Montreal is certainly one of those ones where it is absolutely the case. There is big drift as we went out onto the back straight. Really nice run at the final chicane there. Sergio Perez sets the pace on a 1:10.4. We only go 7 tenths away there on an 11.1, quicker than Oscar Piastri, as Daniel Ricciardo goes even faster in the Ferrari. So certainly looks like there could be a bit of a mix-up this weekend. Heading down in towards the final couple of corners, everyone else has found more pace here, so we're going to need about another half a second. I think it's Zhou Guanyu currently that separates us and Q2 there. I think he's on around a 10.6. We are certainly going to need to try and get this lap dialed in there. First lap round wasn't bad, but there certainly were a few mistakes where we can try and find a little bit of time there as we head out of turn 1. Immediately, half a tenth into the green. Let's just wait and see them as we chuck the car through the next chicane. Oh, we definitely nailed that last time round, though. Now half a tenth in the red. Come on, just keep it tidy. Roll the car through the next couple of corners there. Try and put the power down. Surely now we found a bit of pace. There we go. Back into the green, but at the moment we're just not finding anywhere near enough time as the lap unfolds there. Really attack the curbs through the next chicane there. You can see now, quarter of a second up. This is what we need to be doing at the moment. You know, this lap we've got to take big risks. As we tense up though, as we head down in towards the final couple of corners, we're going to have to absolutely send it through the wall of champion chicane here. Get the car slowed down at the 100-metre ball there. Really attack the curbs on the way in and on the way out there. Watch the flag as you head to the line. P16! We only just sneak by into Q2. What was the margin then at the end of that run there? As you can see, Hamilton, Bottas, the two old Mercedes teammates, 1-2 there at the end of the first run. 35 thousandths of a second between myself and Nicholas Latifi there as we forced the Canadian out in Q1. But I mean, look at that. We're only, what, about 5-6 tenths away from Q3 there. It's a big gap still, but there's certainly more time to find on the laps, as Oscar Piastri 4 tenths away from anyone. A disappointing qualifying session from our teammate, but fingers crossed. You know, last time we made it into Q2, I then messed up our Q2 runs. Maybe this time, you know, we could beat out Albon and Gasly, perhaps, and maybe even, you know, the likes of Tsunoda and K-Mag. Right, we're jumping into Q2 then, and it does look like everyone else is just finding a little bit more at the moment. Alex Albon, I think, is set a 1:10.5 there, as you can see, trying to set ourselves up for the run. Being very aggressive over the curbs through the final couple of turns here as we head back down in towards the first corner. Attack the curbs on the way in. Try to avoid them on the way out of the corner there. Short shift them into 4th gear. 5th gear there and still getting a lot of wheel spin as we head out of the first chicane there. Really trying to attack the inside curb through the next corner there, and that was a bit of a tidier run like we got in my first run of Q1. 100-metre board there again. It really is a difficult track actually. And that's what I mean, as we'll do my best Max Verstappen impression and completely throw this first lap away. May as well finish it though. Just sort of see what time, at least then we've got a delta through the first sector. There we go, you can see Tsunoda currently on a 1:10.4 as well. Attack the curbs again. That's the line I need through the final chicane there. Shortest run up towards the flag. And I mean, to be fair, 3.7 seconds off with a spin. Not actually that bad if I do say so myself. We get one more run though. Fingers crossed that time round, we won't bottle it. Right, well, final Q2 run then here from Canada, and fingers crossed this time round we can try and keep it nice and tidy there. Like we said, aiming for about another 3.84 seconds if we can. But we'll wait and see. There is a nice tidy run out of turn 1 that time round. Really attacked the curb through turn 2 though. That was a little bit extreme, but somehow Niels Wittich letting me get away with it that time through. As 100 metre board. Oh, you can just see that time around it really pushed the car out over the curbing there. But how much time have we found thanks to that spin? It is about 3.7 seconds there, so it is going to be very, very close in the second half of the lap there as we're really trying to attack the curbs through the next couple of corners. We know if we get a nice run through the final chicane, we can certainly move ourselves up the order. So again, just taking a little bit too much curb there. Come on, try and put the power down as best as possible. Losing a little bit of time there on the exit. Perhaps the nerves just getting to me slightly at the moment as Pierre Gasly currently on a 110.50 if I'm not mistaken. Through the final chicane, hold our breath, tip the car in. That is an appalling line through there, but up towards the line. We haven't really gained, haven't really lost anything from it. It's going to be P15. It's already beaten Magnussen, but with a lap like that, to be honest, that's probably quite an achievement. Well, having a look then at the final Q2 runnings there, you can see Lewis Hamilton, always the king of Canada, looking very, very strong there. Fastest once more. Alex Albon, though, making it into Q3. That is a big, big result for Williams there. Very, very good job done by Albon there, as has seemed to have definitely found a bit more pace this weekend. But fingers crossed, you know, we can be in that fight for the bottom of the top 10. You know, maybe if things go a bit badly for the top guys. There's also apparently the chance of rain today, so things could get very, very spicy then. Let's get into it here for the Canadian Grand Prix. This channel is proudly sponsored by Bybit, the official crypto partner of Red Bull's Formula 1 team. I've been using their platform for my personal crypto savings over the last few months, and when they got in touch to support the channel, I was super, super excited. Currently, they're offering you guys a special new promo for the first 100 of you to deposit $10 or more onto the platform. You'll get another $10 free. Also, 5 lucky winners will get their initial deposit doubled up to $1,000. That means if you deposited $1,000 onto the platform using my codes below, you could be within a chance to get another $1,000 completely free. We've seen the landscape around crypto drastically change over the last couple of years, and I genuinely believe it holds an important place in our future. However, please be careful as always when trading, as you are liable to lose money. But if you're interested and you're 18 or older, click the link down below to get started and see why Red Bull and myself, as well as thousands of others, trust Bybit as their crypto.
We're back once again beside the St. Lawrence River here in Montreal for the Canadian Grand Prix. The event first moved to the variant of this track back in 1978, and it was won by none other than Gilles Villeneuve, the first Canadian to ever win his home race, and in whose honour the circuit would be renamed. We'll be seeing top speeds of around 210 miles per hour here at the circuit Gilles Villeneuve, with around 2/3 of the lap taken at full throttle. High-speed chicanes spell potential danger, especially the infamous Wall of Champions, and watch out for overtaking into the hairpin and that final chicane. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position, just ahead of George Russell, who starts this event from P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Leclerc, Daniel Ricciardo, and Verstappen, Perez, Sainz, Drugovich, and Yuki Tsunoda. Norris, they've taken a grid penalty. Mick Schumacher, Pierre Gasly, Mr. Monaco, Latifi, Joe, Lance Stroll, and Alex Albon. Oscar Piastri, Magnussen, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Ocon and Robert Schwartzman. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Right, well here we are then on the grid, ready for the Canadian GP, and certainly a lot of penalties around the venue at the moment. Has moved us slightly up the order into P14, but I don't think that's going to make a huge difference in today's racing. Now, in terms of strategy here, I'm really tempted to mix it up, to be honest. I don't think that the medium hard tyres is always the way to go around this circuit. So I'm going to try, and you know, even if we do get the rain later on, perhaps we could try and be a bit more flexible with the set of soft compound tyres as well. Though, but I just, you know, at the moment we're still trying different things on F1 at 22 to sort of see what works and what doesn't on this game, because at the moment whatever we are doing isn't working very well, so we'll have to wait and see as to how that pans out. In fact, I'm tempted, honestly. What we're going to do, we're going to start on a set of the soft compound tyres, then go mediums for the middle stint of the Grand Prix, and then obviously go back onto softs towards the end. It's going to be a brave strategy choice here, but I want the extra grip at the start. Hopefully then we can push ourselves into a DRS train a bit further up the order. So we're being brave, we're trying something different. Cut to the end line P22 at about 15 seconds behind everyone in this race. If I can't get a good start here today on a softer compounded tyres to everyone else, I really am completely in the bin on F1 in 2022. That's not going to stop me trying to get some heat into them anyway. Get Gasly, Mick Schumacher just in front of us on the grid. No, no! Oh, I didn't want to lock that in! Ah, F1 22. I'm still gonna, how have I still not getting those starts always nailed down? I mean, that should be something every time that is just perfect here. But ready on the grid, though, for the Canadian Grand Prix. Waiting on those 5 red lights. It's going to be lights out and away we go. And can we get a better start than Pierre Gasly? Yes, we can. So we head down towards turn 1. Oh, almost into the back of Mick Schumacher there, but we'll try and flick it around the outside. That's been incredibly aggressive. That's an F1 22 AI style dive there. And look at that, it has worked for me, though. Straight up into the points of the Canadian Grand Prix there. And I mean, there was no contact or anything like that of the start there as well. We try and get under Lando Norris. Oh, off the corner. Lando Norris trying to be very, very grave there. Up the inside of Carlos Sainz. He goes there, his former McLaren teammate, as we go around the outside of Sainz as we head through the next corner there. And certainly the soft tyres have worked at the start there. The hand of rage comes up, as apparently I'm not happy with the tiny bit of contact we had with the Spaniard there through the next couple of turns. But now he's side by side with Yuki Tsunoda, so that's going to immediately drop them back just a little bit further away. As oh, I'm so sorry, Lando. That was never my intention there. But again, no contact. We have made off another move there, so that's been one of the better starts I've had on F1 22. Up 6 places on the opening lap, so clearly starting on the soft compound tyres is the way to go there. As through the final chicane, Valtteri Bottas leads the way ahead of, I'm guessing, still George Russell and Lewis Hamilton there. But it's just a case of how long we can take these tyres early on, and then of course we'll jump over onto a set of mediums. Of course, the other big question today is, will the rain come, and if so, when? As Lando Norris, yeah, I don't really think we're going to be able to battle him too hard early on in this Grand Prix. The McLaren driver just wants to get himself back up towards the top 4, but we'll wait and see what we can do. So I feel like trying to stay within the 1 second zone of Lando Norris might be quite important early on in this race. And also trying to make sure Sainz isn't within 1 second of me. Oh! Whoa! I mean, the rain was meant to be right towards the end of the GP, but lap 4, we're already starting to see the first few bits sprinkle down on the circuit. Surely it's not going to be that heavy that quickly there. I mean, this could have accidentally been a brilliant strategy call by me for completely the wrong reasons. As the rain now already here in Canada, how heavy is it going to be? Yellow flags out, one of the Alfa Romeos going slowly right at the back of the field, though. I think it's Zhou Guanyu. What a disappointing start to the year it's been for Alfa, as they're going to be losing one of their cars already in this Grand Prix. Would it be a safety car?
They've got some kind of mechanical problem.
Lando Norris with issues as well there, despite a fresh engine. No, it is Robert Schwartzman, sorry, out of the Grand Prix. Somehow no safety car. We got more yellow flags out. Someone else now with issues. I think it might be Tsunoda who's dropping to the wayside now in this Grand Prix. There's a big gap, or there was a big gap behind him as well there. And I think, yeah, Yuki Tsunoda out of the Canadian GP there. So we're already seeing a few reliability issues for other cars. But that's going to mean now for us, even if Sainz gets back past me, there's a 10-second gap back to Mick Schumacher, who is now the man just outside the points. Surely today, points are a possibility.
Okay, be mindful of the conditions. The track's getting wetter.
I'm so sorry, Lando. Again, this is the second time I've sent it on him in this Grand Prix. As there we go, Tsunoda out, stricken on the inside there. But yeah, Lando Norris definitely struggling still in that McLaren there, as we've even got the DRS on him off the exit of the corner. But yeah, Lando Norris with reliability issues. Schwartzman and Tsunoda already out of the Grand Prix there, as I think Lando wanted to lunge me down at the final chicane. But yeah, we've just got to wait for the rain, hopefully, to get a lot heavier so we can then all box onto inters. Because I really don't want to have to do another stint on dries. But yeah, that might be where this strategy unravels. I definitely don't think we're ready for full wets just yet, Mark, but we'll wait and see about inters. To be honest, it's not really still raining that much. It might just be one of those races where being on a set of softer compound tyres is going to work for you right through to the checkered flag. So maybe the 2-stop isn't such a bad call still, but I'll have to wait and see there, as I want to take these tyres at least a couple more laps. It's all getting a little bit squirrely there. But yeah, luckily Lando Norris not able to really apply any pressure. And Mick Schumacher, of course, yeah, that gap certainly isn't coming down still. Right, on to lap 11 then of the Grand Prix. We're going to box the end of this one as the tyre wear warning light has just flashed up. But we're going to go on to another set of the soft compound tyres here. Just thinking at the moment, so you can see we are definitely struggling a little bit. If the rain does get heavier, but not by a huge amount, then of course we'll have the extra grip from the softs. But of course if it does then stop, then it just means then on the final stint we can go mediums to the end and not really have to worry about it too much. We are really just trying such a different and obscure strategy today. I'm really hoping it does work out. But, you know, perhaps down the line that means I'm going to try these out-of-the-box strategies even more, and then they might not pay off for me anymore. But into the pits we come then. First car to blink in this Grand Prix. Definitely not going onto a set of intermediates anytime soon. I mean, it is just drizzle around at the Montreal circuit at the moment, as I think Mick Schumacher had taken a little bit of time out of me towards the end of the stint. I am interested to see what the gap will be like, though, because effectively now we are racing the Haas to the checkered flag. Because, of course, yeah, we want points today. If we can come out ahead of this little gaggle of cars, that would be rather nice. It's heading out of the pit lane. Of course, cold rubber. We're not going to come out in front of the Williams and the Aston Martin. But again, we should still be a whole lot quicker than these guys. As Latifi and Stroll, it's the battle of the Canadians for P13. And really now, yeah, we should be finding a pace advantage over Alex Albon as we head down through the final chicane. They've already attacked the curbs again on the way in. Can we use some battery on the exit? We're going to have to be quite strategic with our battery usage over the next couple of laps. Up the inside of the Williams we go, though, and plenty more grip there to get the car slowed down on the wetter line, but still onto the apex. Seem like in that one, but yeah, we need to try and get past Stroll and Latifi. Then, of course, like I said, we can chase down the Haas cars, because effectively we're on the same strategy as them at the moment. We've all got one more stop to go, but I should be quicker pretty much every lap between now and the end of the Grand Prix, obviously depending on whether the track does get to the intermediate conditions here. It has been a weird old Grand Prix. We're only at 1/3 distance. Team now saying 20 more minutes of light rain, but they also thought the rain wasn't going to arrive till later on this afternoon. As can we now send it on Stroll down at the hairpin? Surely this one's a done deal. Always confident on the brakes against the AI into here. And that'll be another move picked off then. And Latifi, of course, with no DRS. Surely he's going to be a bit of a sitting duck as well in the Williams. Here is activate the DRS out on towards the final couple of turns. Gaining on the Williams car there. Latifi's going to try and park defensive. He's, I don't know what that is from the Canadians. Somehow no contact. And I've clicked the wrong buttons on my wheel. You love to see it. Anyway, try not to let that take us away from the action too much. Here is can we go for the same move we did on Albon just one lap ago. Latifi's going to try and give me a big squeeze through turn 1. So it's hardly going to be a carbon copy there around the outside through turn 2. And we will now move back up to P13 then. Drugovic 5 seconds up the road. Gasly and Mick 7. So that is the gap we need to close down again. Hopefully, of course, over the next few laps. Oh, there we go. A few more cars into the pits at the end of lap 15 here. And I am very interested to see how the AI get on sets of hard compound tyres, because I'm just not expecting them to have much grip at all. So we are going to re-emerge ahead of Sainz then, so that's nice to see as well. But yeah, we definitely still don't want full wets, Mark. He keeps trying to push for that, and I'm absolutely not having it at the moment. As yeah, we'll be interested to see what the gap's like to Sainz over the next few. I'm expecting them to really struggle. There we go, load more cars into the pits at the end of the next lap. That was a nice run through the final chicane. Where are we going to be out in comparison to Lando Norris in his McLaren? I know we've got to do an extra pit stop before the end of this, but it's still interesting to sort of see as what a disappointing day it's been for Oscar Piastri so far. Just has not connected with his first trip out to Canada in a Formula 1 car. It just hasn't worked for him today. So we just get a little bit all over the show. Oh, here comes Lando Norris, final couple of turns. Whoa, big lock up there as Lando Norris absolutely sending it. I think McLaren have got the issues sorted on that car there, as that's definitely cost me a little bit of time as Kevin Magnussen into the pits. We're definitely not going to box this early onto a set of mediums to the end. I want to get to about lap 22, but yeah, I suppose the team, again, we're trying different things today as Mick Schumacher. I'm 11 seconds behind. Let's keep monitoring that gap. Oh, it's definitely getting damper and damper though at the moment as we start lap 20. Really am wondering now whether it's worth a gamble. And then my game decided to crash at the best of times when it looked like we could have finally got some more points on the board. I really do think that second half of the race we would have done pretty well there, but absolutely gutted with that. It just went to a black screen. I tried to load back into it and it had just simulated the rest of the race and retired the car, which was always going to be nice there. So absolutely heartbreaking to end the Canadian Grand Prix in the way it did there. It's a glitch I've had once before on F1 22, but that time round it managed to let me restart the race, so really not too sure what's going on. I think it's to do with when I had to recalibrate my wheel a bit earlier on in the race there. I think that's the only other time it's happened on F1 22, but absolutely gutted that that's the way our Canadian Grand Prix came to an end. I just can't seem to get any luck on F1 22 at the moment, but thank you all so much to all of you that have watched this video nonetheless. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure you leave a like and get yourself subscribed. I'm definitely going to be coming back stronger next time round at Silverstone. None of these videos would be possible without the help of our channel members, so a massive thank you to all of the names you see on your screens currently for helping support the channel. You can join them by clicking the join button down below, and yeah, thank you once again to everyone that continues all the insane support on my work.